Hey, why are you being so aggressive? No rapping. Hey, you gotta sing nice. It's Friday night. It's date night. People have come here to hear you sing. You can't sing angry. Little Leonard Cohen get you going? Yeah. Well, I heard there was a secret chord. Every play that it pleased the Lord. You don't really care for music, do ya? Goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fourth, the major lift, the baffled king composing. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. He's done. Listen. Sometimes you got it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're just like, no, Dad, I'm not singing. I don't care how many people are there. It's Friday night. I had my kibbles. I had some hand-cooked whatever. Because that's how we do it around here. Oh, yeah, sing it, Champy. He's listening to you. Happy Friday night, everybody. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. We'll get learning here in a minute. Here's something I learned. Those stainless steel braided plumbing things suck. The guy before us put them in, and so I went to shower this morning, and there was no hot water. And I went down to the hot water heater, and there was a shower on downstairs. It was going everywhere. It's like, fuck. So I called the plumber. He told me where the water main was, which was good. I knew where it was, but when water is spraying, you go into a bit of a panic. And I said, the water heater, it's got one of these stainless steel woven things. He goes, oh, those are, I don't know why anyone uses those. They always leak. It's always at the same place, like where they connect it to the thing. So anyway, so luckily he came today. We have a nice guy. If anyone's in Denver, let me know. I got a good plumber for you. Pi, please turn off the water. That's what I need. I totally needed an agent. There's no hot water. Oops, it's raining in the basement. All the systems shut down. Oh man, how is everybody? Happy Friday. Happy date night. Hopefully you're out on a date and listening to me in one ear and pretending to listen in the other. Oh, that's very interesting, Barbara. At least I cracked myself up. He just didn't seem like he was listening to me. He said it was a hearing aid. Barbara, now listen, Barbara, she is a little paranoid. It doesn't mean she's wrong. He might have been listening to the AI Learning Lab. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Ain't no Applebee's meetup worth it anymore. Welcome to Tchotchkes. Oh my God. Woo. Oh. Okay, so what we do here, so here's how this is gonna, all right, let's get serious here, people. We got learning to do, or not. If you're curious about AI, we'll talk about that. I'll probably get a little philosophical tonight. I made a video. If you haven't seen it, my latest video is a declaration of who I am. And you're like, well, that seems weird. This shit happens. When you get someone who, I don't know, who is like me. So I'm in this, I guess it's a workshop. It's like a 3-month long thing. And we're about midway through it. So I'm starting to have some breakthroughs, which is cool. It's good. And it's a lot about, like, who are you being in the world? Who are you, like, how are you showing up? Who are you being? And when all those thoughts come in your head, which one of the things I've learned is we have 50,000 thoughts a day fly through these large language models between our ears. And so a lot of the work that we did is paying attention to the shit flying through your head. And then rather than trying to psychoanalyze it and do all that happy horse shit, you just notice it. And then you trace it back upstream. And so if you're thinking like, oh, they don't like me, or oh, I screwed up, or oh, some de-energizing thought, you kind of go upstream and say, who are you being when you're thinking that? Oh, I'm being inferior. I'm being wrong. I'm being a dum-dum. I'm being, right? And then you get a chance, if you're conscious of it, to forgive yourself for judging yourself as being that. And then you get to choose a new thing. So who do I want to be? Who am I being? And so I made a video about that. And it was weird because this channel is like, it's like comedy, it's entertainment, we're learning AI, yee. You can make money with ChatGPT. And so none of that goes away. But I was like, so part of our homework for the next 2 weeks is really integrating this new sort of set of declarations. And integrating looks like tell your significant other and tell your kids and tell your parents and tell your siblings. And there's even one in there, tell a stranger. So I thought, well, I got 33,000 of them that follow the channel. Let me start with that, which, by the way, I'm not off the hook for having to do this for a stranger in the flesh, by the way. But I thought, why not? Why not? Because I think, a lot of what we talk about in here anyway has nothing to do with technology, right? This is about who we're being as human beings, right? We have these tools. We have these amazing, remarkable, powerful tools that are this weird sort of hallucinogenic reflection of humanity, right? that a large language model is. We're interacting with kind of all of the people that came before us. So a lot of the stuff we're talking about here is fairly philosophical, right? Without the degree. I have an acting degree, so I'm close. It is financially nearly as rewarding as a philosophy degree. I was happy to hear your love language isn't shame anymore. The video is awesome. Thank you, Kavruno. Yeah, the shame is my love language thing. Like, it's a good joke. Like, if I were going to do stand-up, that would be a joke I'd lead with probably, or, I'd have it somewhere in there. It's a good joke. But one of the things that you all have done for me is, if you go watch any of the early videos from May, June, July, because I was nervous, because I'm insecure, like we all have the shit, right? I did a lot of self-deprecating humor, and a lot of you irregulars who have been coming for a while, when I would do that shit, you'd go, Kyle, why don't you not do that? And it sunk in. And I was like, yeah, I don't need to do that. Like, I don't need to apologize for who I am. So there's been, I've been on a kind of transition through this anyway, largely inspired by you. And there's something about doing this regularly that has freed me a bit from, well, what if I do something stupid? What if I do something shitty? Well, who cares? Nobody fucking cares. There's a great saying. I think it was it Truman Capote? No, it was not Truman Capote. Oh fuck, English writer, Oscar Wilde. I don't know who said it. We can find out on ChatGPT. But the saying is, you'd be a lot less worried about what people think of you when you realize how little they actually do. Which is true. Everyone's in their own shit. Everyone's got their own thing going on. How did it feel to make that? Were you nervous? I was a bit nervous, but I got to tell you how the work has gone. Maybe I'll read them. I mean, here they are. These are them. It's a set of index cards, and these sort of flowed naturally out of mining these de-energizing thoughts. And it's not good or bad. It's de-energizing or energizing. You either have energizing thoughts, ones that light you up and you go forward, which a lot of this AI shit is in that direction, or you have de-energizing thoughts. And so in mining them, you kind of look at it, and as you can imagine, you see patterns. It's all the same shit, right? We all made some decision when we were 5 that's still driving our life today. And it's not about finding that trauma and dealing with the trauma. It's just saying, because who I am today is because of who I've been, right? It's not a bad thing, right? It might be de-energizing thoughts, but that's how I got here. It's how I got successful. And so what the work is about just get conscious about it, and then you can choose. And the minute you have choice, all sorts of cool shit happens. And so, and then, so you kind of figure out these little thoughts, and then you forgive yourself for it's really interesting work. You don't forgive yourself for being that thing. You forgive yourself for judging yourself as that. And you let go of the judgment. So, I forgive myself for judging myself as being an idiot, as being less than, as being inferior, as being invisible. And the new truth is, and then you write something. And so you do that for a whole bunch of these, and then you stick them on cards, and then you say them out loud, and you put them in an order, and you tell a story. And so this is my story. So I think I may share it. Judgment blocks connection. Oh, does it ever? Especially self-judgment. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's like all we do all day. He's an asshole. I'm a jerk. I'm a loser. They're a loser. Right? And if you're neurospicy, that shit's on fucking overtime. I'm invisible. There you go. I'm invisible. That was one of my big ones. I'm invisible. I'm inferior. I'm broken. I'm all that stuff. And it's all day, all the time. All day, all the time. Your brain is constantly having thoughts. And this work is about, all right, if you have one that fucks you up, it's de-energizing, notice it, go upstream, then choose a new way. So anyway, should I read these? We like that you share your story with us. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're listening to the demons. We all listen to the demons, Spike. We all listen to the demons. And we listen to the angels. We listen to our truth, and we listen to our bullshit. And a lot of the stuff that gets us here is the stuff we actually believe we know we're not good at. That's why we do it more and more and more to try to convince ourselves. Sherry D, thank you so much. Kyle, write a GPT that helps people write their cards. I don't listen. I am halfway through a program. I'm very much a beginner. I think there's a lot of work to do after the cards, but let me get a little farther down the thing. I don't want to go into the coaching realm just yet. Although I suppose I'm doing it here, but it's different kind of coaching. It's in a lot of ways, what we're doing here is like, if you think you're not good enough to be doing AI, or if you think you're not smart enough, or if you're not technical enough, or you're too far behind, or all that, all I'm doing is going, how about this as another way of being? Fuck that shit. Do it anyway. I'm just sort of brute forcing this community forward. Kyle, did you watch the Tony Robbins YouTube summit? No, I didn't. Wait, was that today? I didn't watch it today. I saw it. I almost did it, but I'm in the middle of this thing, and I didn't want to cross the beams. But I did a Tony Robbins thing in the early 90s, and then I did the forum in the mid 90s. So I've done some shit. A lot of the stuff is the same stuff. This work is actually, I'm really liking this work because it is, one of the things about the Tony Robbins work that I could never crack was he's like, you get clear on what you want, and you do your neuro-linguistic programming, and then you just take the actions, and if you take the actions, you'll get there. And then, but what happens when you go 3 weeks without taking the actions? Like, where's the, like, I could never deal with there was something always in the way. And what I'm learning is it was who I was being. And it's like, if you're the guy that has judged yourself as being a loser, and the loser is the one setting the goals, then the loser is going to accomplish loser things. So it doesn't matter what the system is. What's the program? Can I ask what you're studying? I don't know. If you're interested, reach out to me. The man I work with is a really smart guy. He actually designed Storyvine's sales process, a guy named Townsend Wardlaw. I only think he does this work for men, and he actually talked about today because I didn't know like why only men. And basically what he was saying was he because he's a man, he wants to do it with people like with who he understands. But I don't know. He might have something for women, but I don't know. But it's fascinating work, and I'm digging it. It's called Create your exceptional life experience is what the program's called. You're healed. I don't know that I'm healed. So here's the thing that we're never healed, right? These machines are always, life's tough. It's tough for me, stupid. These machines are always going, right? So one of the things they talk about in the forum is, we are story making machines, right? So your brain's always going. And then you have default ways. This has been wired for mine for 58 years. It's default ways. So a lot of this stuff is automatic. I walk into a room, someone looks a certain way, boom, right? Like it happens. Whatever it is, you have the thoughts, oh, that guy's a douchebag. He's a silver spoon. He's a, like, whatever it is, right? And so this work is just about noticing that and then choosing, like if it's de-energizing, like if the thoughts are fine, the thoughts are fine. But if it's de-energizing and it's not working for you, then it's about, okay, let's dissect what the thought is. Let's go upstream. Let's do it. So, all right. So I'll share this. So anyone stumbling into this TikTok is gonna go, what the fuck is this? Which they're probably doing already. So it's all right. Healing is a perpetual process. Exactly. It's an ongoing thing. And it's very active. I mean, that's the other thing I like about this is it's not, oh, you figured it out, you're done, right? It's a practice. It's a practice. Someone says something in a comment here, or something happens at work, or we just had a client. We had 4 different bugs for a single client for my company Storyvine. Took us 2 weeks to fix the first 2. And then we discovered the next 2. In fixing the first 2, we discovered the next 2. And I just by default take it personally, think I'm a piece of shit, am convinced that my company's horrible, that we're horrible people. It's like the default of where I go. And so 3 months from now, when I'm all mastered my cards up and everything like that, and we have a bug in our software, do you think it's not going to be like instantly what I feel? Of course it's going to be what I feel. That's how this brain does what it does for 58 years. The difference hopefully now is I go, oh, there's one of those. Let me run this little program. Let me run through the script. Forgive myself for judging myself as. Here's the new truth. And then here's who I am. Remind myself of who I am. Choose to be who I want to be. Choose to be. Not just be unconsciously who I've been. I live life out loud and make a huge difference where I show up. My time and focus means it matters. I light up every room I enter. No apologies, no shame. I surround myself with people that inspire and support me. This card was inspired by this community, by the way. I humbly seek out wisdom from the people I choose to spend time with. I'm prepared and deliver beyond expectations. My 50% is most people's 100%. I have unbounded love, energy, and love for people. They deserve my best, and my best blows them away. I inspire people. I am passion, joy, and generosity. I am authenticity and empathy. I am freedom. I take action with confidence. I respond to opportunity with enthusiasm and clarity. I am as comfortable saying no as saying yes. I honor boundaries and protect myself and others with clear communications. I speak the truth with confidence and clarity. It is not my job to caretake others. I am empathetic, compassionate, and fair. My wife is beautiful and powerful, and we can't get enough of each other. My sons are remarkable human beings and deserve healing and a life they love. I easily generate wealth and manage my finances without shame or fear. I create abundance for my family and people around me.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
I deliver on my agreements with joy. I embrace the power of integrity. I am strong, flexible, fast, and nimble. I move with ease and grace. My body is a source of joy. I have the courage to understand, heal, and improve my body. My physical presence matches my intellect and vitality. I am living proof that dreams come true. I compare myself to no one. And I celebrate where I am in this moment. I see beauty, love, and possibility everywhere, especially inside myself. I am perfect. I am an artist. Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you. It's heavy shit. That phrase, I am an artist, that one fucking broke me. It was funny, Townsend, in one of our meetings, Townsend asked me, he said, Kyle, what do you do? And we were talking about professional stuff. What do you do? And I said, I don't know. And he said, yeah, artists can never answer that question. And then he had me write down that I was an artist and say it. And it fucking crushed me. Because I think I've spent my life playing an artist, knowing that I'm really not. And what I discovered doing this work is that, no, I really am. And now I have the opportunity to own that. That's pretty fucking intense. So, whew. Yeah, you thought it was all going to be fun and games tonight, huh? All right. Sherry D, you're a beautiful artist. Thank you very much. Do you want to be my Valentine? I don't know, Mr. IT. I think I'm okay. But I'll be all your Valentines. Valentine's Day is my anniversary, so So I'm gonna have to. I might have to skip that one or do it. I'm gonna have to arrange it. Oh man, but that's powerful shit, you know. Like really, really understanding like what you have not let yourself be, what you have not let yourself be, but kind of celebrating that that's what's gotten you here. I think several of us feel exactly the same way. You're in good company. Yeah, I know. Well, I think that's what's magical about this channel and about the Salon is you know what's really fucking cool? With the exception of Pate, we don't really talk about the tech. Pate wants to talk about the tech. But even Pate, who wants to talk about the tech, shows up here. You know, he's not showing up at a Google engineering TikTok. He's not showing up at, well, he might be, but he's also showing up here. There's something here that is, I don't know. I don't know. But I like it. I think it's important. I think it's really important. I think it's really, really important. I had a really good office hours today on LinkedIn. We talked a lot about just, you know, what is this tech and what are we doing? Emilio's wife, I'm embracing being an artist when I always thought that my parents were, but I was not. Yeah. Yeah. What happens when technology gives you access to knowledge and skills and capabilities and capacity that you knew in your heart you would never have? That you had accepted. I'll never be a musician. I'll never be an artist. I'll never live that dream out. I'm fine. I've accepted it. I'll be the cog in the corporate machine. I'll do the work. I'm a responsible person. I didn't have the talent. What happens when we gain access to technology that spits in the eye of that reality? That's what fucking AI is. That's what this is. That's highest used GPT, manifest your dream. It's about using a mental diet and being in a state of mind of having a wish fulfilled. Yeah, it's beautiful. And so when I started this channel, what I knew it was talk about the tools. Talk about the tools. Well, there's this tool to do this, and there's that tool to do that, and there's that tool to do that. And I thought it was about efficiency. And I listened to Rachel Woods, and I'm like, oh, it's about operations and it's about efficiency. Because that's what computers have always been about, right? Here's a new tool to make you more efficient to do the shitty work that this company needs done in exchange for not enough money and shitty health insurance. Christy, I'm so glad you shared this. Tonight of all nights, I really needed to hear this. Good. And the funny thing that happened on the way to the forum, not that forum, was I learned that what makes AI so profound is that the efficiency is just like the tip of the iceberg. Like the efficiency is just like, it's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, oh, yeah. I can do that shit faster. The shit that takes you 6 hours a day that you fucking despise, yeah, I'll take care of that. I got you. I'll do that in 5 minutes. What do you do with the other 5 hours? If these machines do the shitty work in an hour that used to take you 6, what do you do with the 5 hours? And what we're all discovering in here, I think, together as a community and on the AI Salon is any fucking thing I want. It's like, oh shit, how do I process that? I told myself for 40 years I wasn't an artist. I told myself for 55 years I wasn't a musician. I told myself for 37 years I wasn't good at math. I told myself for 22 years I'd never amount to anything with computer programming. Well, guess what? Now you can do that. Be careful what you ask for, right? We're no different from the man in Italy who was told he could not walk, but now, with AI, he can. Exactly. He thinks things. Here's how I used to move my legs. They take those signals, they Bluetooth it around his injury, zip, and now his legs start moving. Emilio's wife, that's a really good analogy, right? Just living life. We have all made compromises. We have all chosen, with very few exceptions, right? 0.00001% of people know who they are, believe in it, have the support structure, have the mental health to pursue their dream and go. And even their journey, I guarantee you, is full of shit and nonsense and compromises. So it's a universal condition that we have all given up something. And we have all at some point told ourselves, you're not that. I judge you as not an artist. And then these tools are coming along that are defying that. So I think this is not about technology. It's weird. I thought this early in the year and I couldn't quite process it. I kept feeling like I think the robots are going to free us. Like I think these technologies are going to make us better people. And I couldn't get my head around what that meant. It was just like this instinct, like I feel like I'm becoming a better person. I feel like I'm becoming a more creative person. I know I'm becoming more self-expressed. I know I'm becoming more competent. You know? So what do you do with that? Why do people keep coming back here? Because I think we're all discovering some version of that in real time. And it's like, it isn't about the tools anymore. It's not about the tool. It really does come down to like, what do you want? What do you want? And the frustrating thing about the tools right now is they're not good enough to live up to the promise, right? Like we're being like spoon-fed. I wrote down the thing that Sam Altman said at the Davos thing last week. He said GPT-4 is best understood as a preview. And then he said, progress here is not linear. Thank you very much for the gifts. Thank you for sharing. You've touched this old guy's heart tonight. Thank you. What was that? GPT is best understood as a preview. Progress here is not linear. So we, in this channel at the AI Salon, anyone who is leaning into AI right now is getting the gift of a preview of what's about to come. It's a preview. If this is a preview, what's the fucking real deal? Right? If this is a preview, what happens when these things can reason? What happens when they don't make mistakes? What happens when they can do all of your work for you? And you're free to use them in any way you want. What happens when you have 10,000 agents dynamically created on your behalf to do any fucking thing you want? What do you then choose to do with your time? Like, never in my life have I felt like this close to that possibility. What if you could do what you wanted? Well, then that begs the question, what do you want? Oh, fuck, I've been hiding behind all of this bitching and whining and moaning about how horrible my life is. Thank you very much. Because I'm doing this cog in the machine kind of bullshit work, but I don't have any other skills, and I've denied myself things that I enjoy because this is how it played out in my life. Well, what if the play just changed? Like, what do we do? And there's a fucking joy in this community, and like we've been talking about this on our calls. There's a joy in this community that is. I just think it's like we're not so much awe-inspired that the tech does what the tech does. We're awe-inspired that the tech is giving us a part of ourselves back that we didn't think we could ever get back. Source Camp today. It's funny. I've been talking about this AI stuff. Like I keep saying, well, I'm as creative, like, you know, creatively engaged as I ever was in my 20s. And Source Camp today said, I have the same creative spirit I had when I was 5 or 8. And the minute she said it, I'm like, yes! I'm not as creative as I was in my 20s. I was already all fucked up in my 20s. I've got shit firing in my brain that's like that 5-year-old optimism with 58-year-old experience. And not just optimism, like wonder. You know that 5-year-old, like everything's a fucking... Look at this shit. Never seen a roller coaster before. That's a magician. He did real magic. Ah, that spirit is what it feels like. We're entering an era where all of the shit that's been beaten out of us for however long we've been on the planet, there's the possibility that we get to sidestep around that and just choose another path. Just doop. Fuck it. I'm an artist now. How are you going to make money? I don't know.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Maybe I'll tell other people how to get out of their shitty job. Quit it with joy. I don't know. I'm the third grader before anyone told her she couldn't do anything. Ann Murphy. Before she couldn't draw. Yep. Exactly. That's yes. And that third grader, when they told her she couldn't draw, okay, Ann Murphy. Oh, okay. Story time. This is all story time tonight, isn't it? I'll tell you the story of why me calling myself an artist is so hard. When I was in third grade? No, fifth grade. Fifth grade. Yeah. End of fourth grade, going into fifth grade. My parents got divorced when I was 5. My dad was in the Air Force. And I think sometime in fourth grade, I went to visit my dad for the summer, my stepmom, my stepbrother, my stepsister. And I called my mom at the end of the summer and said, I don't want to come home, I want to stay here. And she was devastated, but she let me stay. And so I had to go to a new school, and I had to get tested for a new school. And so they had one of those books. You give the kid a book, there's questions you answer, there's shit you fill out. And I remember there was this one part of the test that was a grid. It was like a 8x8 grid. And I had colored pencils, and the counselor person said, here's the colored pencils, fill in the grid. I was like, okay. And my mom at the time was into Bargello. I don't know if you remember Bargello from the 70s, but it was a needlepoint. It was a very geometric needlepoint. And so I took the colored pencils and I made this really cool Bargello pattern, this really cool geometric pattern. And I was really proud of it. And then the counselor person, for whatever reason, at some point, they were talking to me and they were looking at my thing and looking at my drawing and and they left the room. And when they left the room, she left the grading book for the test. And she left it open to the page that had the drawing on it. And I picked it up and it said, if the drawing looks like this, and it looked exactly like mine, it was this geometric pattern. It said, it is the sign of a less creative mind than if it looks like this. And it was chaos. And that fucking broke my heart. And in that moment, I chose chaos for my life. It's like, you're not going to tell me I'm not creative. But you know what I knew? What I judged myself as? That this work is about? Not creative. I knew. I saw the test. This is what the adults said. If it looks like this, it's the sign of a less creative mind than if it looks like this. And so my entire fucking life has been about proving that I'm creative, knowing deep down inside that I'm not. That's some fucked up shit, right? And yet, and this is where this current work gets really powerful, because it's not that was a bad thing. I'm as creative today as I am because of that moment. That moment gave me my life, all of this. And now, what this work is I get to choose. What if I could choose to go, oh, I forgive myself for judging myself as not creative, and I'm going to fucking kick some ass. I'm an artist. And own that. Why not? Chris, you're an exact mirror of many of us. Yeah. These large language models between our ears are some pretty fucked up technology. Talk about hallucinating. Talk about a janky piece of shit. Right? Oh my God. What are you doing Friday night? Oh, I don't know. I think I'll go bare my soul in front of 100 people or so. Do you have some sort of psychology channel? Nah, it's AI. But this all tracks for me. Like this all tracks. This is. There's a reason that people that actually try AI. Look, my glasses are getting all fogged up. There's a reason that people that try AI can't seem to leave it. You know, the I wish I could quit you. I wish I could quit you. We're getting to play with a preview of what's to come, and the preview is really fucking remarkable, right? One teacher told me, "Don't do cartooning," and cartoonist, exactly. And you know what? I bet you're a brilliant cartoonist, and probably the better you get at cartooning, the less it fulfills you, because like you like somewhere deep in there is that motherfucker going, you'll never be a cartoonist, and you're like, I'm gonna prove that motherfucker wrong. This is why people like get wildly successful, and the more successful they get, the less happy they are, because the more they have the success, the further it is away from who they know they are, which is not a cartoonist. So, like, you know, you're winning cartoon awards and, you know, being published in magazines all around the world. And you're like, but I'm not really a cartoonist. You know, it's like these things are doing this. Yeah, and I think I think we all have some version of that, and then we also there's also the very real thing of I could never be a cartoonist. I just don't have the skills. But now I do. And when I think about making music, I look at someone like Jacob Collier, who's like fucking Mozart. He's like modern day Mozart, right? The man is like I want to call him a boy because he's so young looking, but he's just fucking brilliant. And I look at someone like him and like I will never, like, he's got perfect pitch. He can do multi-timbre. I saw a thing the other day. He was doing 5 polyrhythms with each finger on a single hand. Like, I couldn't even hear what he was doing. I'm like, well, I can't be a musician. Well, fuck it. Now I can. I have ADHD, so I can't be an engineer. Well, now I can. All the shit that either, you know, we were squashed down and told ourselves we couldn't do, or we just didn't have the talent or resources or training or life experience to do. What if that's all just ripped to the sides and you just get to go, what do I want? And then you're going to be able to do that. That's the preview we're in the middle of. So, woo! Megan, you're more than an artist. You are an inspiration. Thank you so much. Whew. This is a hard thing for me is hearing back that reflection. I appreciate it. It's hard to accept. It's not hard to accept. It is uncomfortable to accept because I have told myself that I am none of that. It's one of the insidious things about this sort of, brain fuckery we do. Is when you know deep inside that you're not something and then someone tells you you are. It's really hard to hear. Because I know the truth. I know what I'm not. You really are. You have inspired my entire family because of this channel. Oh my God, wow. Wow. Awesome. Thank you. Whew. But how do you make money with ChatGPT? Can we even handle what we really want? Source Camp, exactly. Life stuff. Stuff really stupid. I don't know. I mean, some of us will, some of us won't. I think though, if we can individually get to that childhood spirit before all the shit got shut down, before daddy said, hey, you're not really that talented, are you? Before mommy said, oh, good, I didn't really want you to do that anyway. My mom at one point, I didn't speak to her for 8 years. She made this comment. I was living in New York City, pursuing a life in acting. I'd started and run a theater company. I was just doing all sorts of side job hustles. And it just wasn't happening. And I took a day job, or I took a job, like a job. Not like a hustle. Like when you're an actor, you take hustle jobs, right? Because you're going to be working so much, you got to have flexibility. And I wasn't working and I wasn't motivated and shit wasn't happening. And I took a job. And I called my mom. And I was pretty devastated. And I said, Mom, I took a job. And her response was, oh, thank God. I didn't talk to her for 8 years after that. Eight years. Because what I heard was, you were never an actor anyway. When I ultimately talked to her, she was like, no, I was worried for my boy. Like, I was glad he was going to eat, right? It was, from her point of view, it was a very simple thing. But I had all this meaning on it, and I had what I thought was one kind of relationship with her, and she decimated it in that moment. So those moments, if we can set those to the side and get in touch with whatever the spirit was before all that shit happened and go, well, what do I really want? What would make me happy? Because all the skills are just right there waiting for us in preview form, as Sam Altman says. I have transformed myself watching your lives. Used to bot, host, boring game. Now back to being the artist. Awesome. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, that. Yeah, you know what it is? Oh, maybe this is it. And maybe this is the secret. We were talking today on my LinkedIn office hours. Like how do you show AI to people in a way that doesn't put them down? Like Hair Growth Geek came in, Melanie. She came in and she goes, every time I show this to someone, they get really scared and they run away. And we're like, well, what are you doing? And she like does things. She's doing like the shock and awe treatment of AI. She's like, I put their head on a naked body and turned it into a movie. We're like, oh God, no. Like, because she's just got this unbounded joy just as a human. And she's just like, look how cool this shit is. But it's like, you know, maybe the trick is, get someone to talk about something they think is out of their reach, something they really want, but is out of their reach. Hey Joy, didn't you tell me you always wanted to be a novelist? Yeah, but I'm not really good at grammar, and I got bad grades in English. Huh. You have any ideas for a book? Oh yeah, I've got one. Oh, what is it? Dear ChatGPT, could you write the outline of this book? Oh my God. Show them that they don't have to have their English degree to get their fucking book done. Oh, I gotta show you something. I know now we each have great gifts to share. That's so one of the values of the AI Salon is inclusion for that very reason. That one. Inclusion. Since we're so early in AI, in generative AI, we're kind of 50 years into AI, but we're a year and a month into generative AI. Because there are no experts right now, it by definition means that no one is an expert, and everyone is coming from somewhere else. And what's amazing about these formative stages I've only ever been through one. I was through the formative stages of the World Wide Web, but what was remarkable about it was everyone coming from different points of view is what made it so remarkable in those early days, because you had your lens that you looked at life through, and then you'd look at this World Wide Web thing and you'd see it a certain way, and then you'd hang out with someone who was like a litigation attorney who just was geeking out on the World Wide Web, and they would say, oh no, I'm looking at it this way, and you go like, oh shit, I never even thought about that. And that's what the AI Salon's all about. That's what this channel's all about. Doesn't fucking matter who shows up. The mother and daughter pair that show up at Ann Murphy's weekend GPT jams, like, it's absolutely irrelevant. Like, ages are irrelevant. Background's irrelevant. What's relevant is what are they bringing to the table? And what they're both bringing to the table are just remarkable ideas and professionalism and just like an inspiring drive to like want to succeed with whatever the fuck this GPT thing is. And it so doesn't matter what they do with it. It's about who they're being. It's about who they're being and who they are and what they're contributing. I mean, I would say that right now in the AI world, it is the truest sense of a meritocracy. It's just like all you need to do to succeed right now is show up and have a good attitude, like connect with other people, share what you're learning, learn from what they're sharing, do shit, do more, share more, connect with more people. It's all like, there's no skills needed right now other than show up. Be a little resourceful, be a little creative, be a little driven, be a lot curious, be a lot adventurous, be a lot collaborative. And more than anything, have that. Because even someone who's just absolutely slaying it right now, I reached out to someone on TikTok who's making these videos that are like face meltingly good. They're just so good. And I was talking to her about maybe you come talk to the Salon. And her response was, "Oh, I don't know anything. I just do these on my phone at night, like an hour before bed to put myself to sleep. I don't really know what I'm doing." And she's making these fucking astounding videos. They're like these music videos. Kelly Bosch is her name if you've seen her stuff. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. You're doing remarkable shit. The fact that she thinks it is so valueless in some sense, or that her contribution to it is so valueless. It just blows my mind. I'm like, no. Like, people need to see what you're doing. Like, the fact that you can do this absent-mindedly the hour before bed, people need to know this. They will be inspired. So, crazy. I mean, I feel like at this point we're all going to have to show our proficiency in AI right now. Yeah. I don't know that. I don't know that you need to show your proficiency. I seriously, I think 2024. This is another thing we were talking about in office hours today. I'm starting to see in here and in other conversations I'm having, and I've heard people talk about. The dam is starting to break where people are kind of panicking, going, "I need to learn about AI." Like companies, CEO types, C-suite types, directors, managers. So I think 2024, there's going to be a bit of a panic. And there's going to be way fewer people that know anything about AI than know, than are panicked, right? There's going to be more panicked people than capable people. So you don't have to be that capable. You just need to be, if you could show someone how to use ChatGPT and kind of understand some of the tools it does. Source Camp was sharing with us today, like, her sequence of parlor tricks, and it's really cool. She does this really cool thing where she starts very simple, write a paragraph, or like write a story and then turn that into a paragraph, and then turn it into bulleted points, and then turn that into a table, and it's just all this very incremental steps of like, okay, that's interesting. She doesn't go right for the mind blowing. She goes in these little baby steps. And she said a lot of times the people are like, "But make us a picture. Can you make a picture? Make it a picture." She's like, no, I'll get to that. Next, we're going to do bullet points. Oh, those are really cool. Could you make a picture? Then she makes them a picture. They're like, woo! So I don't think you're going to need to be super... I think we should all forgive ourselves for how shitty we are at AI. If you're curious about it, if you show up to this channel, if you're curious enough to be one of the 123 people on a Friday fucking night hanging out on TikTok with my fat old ass, I'm still going to call myself fat and old, but maybe if I get less fat, I'll knock that shit off. You know more than a lot of people. So, Kelly Bosch, I think is her name. Boesch, maybe? Yeah, Bosch. Boesch. I think so, yeah. Have you seen her, Mary? Her stuff's just killer. There's storytelling to it. She's just grabbing, it's like she makes music videos. She takes songs that she liked from her, teenage years, I'm guessing. Her work makes me faint. It's fantastic. I know. One of her pieces took off. She said it got a whole shit ton of views, and she was like, I don't know why they got so excited about that. And I'm like, 'cause it's fucking good. you know, and she's just in that place where she's kind of discovered something. She's got a voice. That's the thing that excites me the most. The fact that she doesn't know what she's done, that she doesn't know that what she's done has value is just like, oh, it's amazing. And in my studio with a respirator listening. Oh, that's great. Hey, Corey, good to see you. No mean names. Okay, fine, Danielle. Fat old man's not mean. It's funny. I definitely have a Gen X sense of humor. I'm I would be a triggering comedian. I don't know that I'd get canceled, but I think I'd piss some people off. I probably do in here. Chat seems already conscious to me. I mean, it reflects as carefully and conscientiously or consciously as you treat it. Yeah, I know. I know. And it's not even reasoning yet, right? You know, from a technical perspective, what it's doing is not conscious. But from a realistic perspective, how it interacts with you, with us, is more compassionate than a lot of people. You know? Again, I go back to this thing. I think that these AI tools, I don't even know what to fucking call them, because tools makes it sound like something you use in a factory. These interactions. I don't know. We'll come up with a name. But you're interacting with something greater than a tool. You really are. And I know if Pate's in here, he's going to be losing his ever fucking mind. He's going to be like, no, it's a tool. It's a mathematical probability engine. I know. And it's something more. 18.3 million views now for Kelly Bosch's video. That's so fucking amazing. Kelly Bosch, amazing. Yep. Maybe you can highlight your top 10 followers for guest presenters over a few weeks. That's not a bad idea at all. I like that idea. She inspired me to do what I do. Oh, that's so cool, Sherry D. Kyle, chapter 1, finished using AI. I am blown away. It's so good. One of the characters is Kyle. Oh, that's very sweet. Which Kyle? Oh, that's so cool. Chapter 1 is finished. Oh, so let me show you something. I am a published author. Look. Oh, I got 17-factor authentication coming up. Hold, please. Oh, I got 17-factor authentication coming up. Hold, please. So I am one of 7 authors in a book you can get on Amazon called AI Futures, an anthology. And let me see. Here's one of my screenplays. So this is it, AI Futures and Anthology. So Cindy Kuhn, who's in here a lot, she's called Lab 5 Futures in here. She's also on the AI Salon, Cindy Kuhn. She's the one that put this group together. And our goal was to write a book in a month. All of the people in this have done lots and lots of stuff in their life. They've all been using AI. And we all agreed to use AI, use ChatGPT to to write quickly. And there were no rules other than that. We kind of set a ridiculously short timeline for each other. And it starts, and so my chapter is called The Great Renaissance Approaches, Why 2023 Was the New 1995. And so I talk about the early days of, in the 70s, when I got introduced to personal computers and feeling like I missed out on something and missed out on a revolution and was jealous of Steve Jobs and Wozniak and Bill Gates and the Microsoft co-founders because I was just too young to, like, I felt like the little brother that wasn't a part of that. And then moved to New York City, and in the 90s discovered the World Wide Web and started this online magazine called Urban Desires. And I just talk about how remarkable it was to realize that in my lifetime I missed the PC, but I realized that the World Wide Web was another one of those big things, those printing press level kind of things. And then I talk about agency.com, the company that I started there, and then I talk about AI and stumbling into AI and starting with images and creating this art project called Kyle Shannon Dreams that's on Instagram and TikTok, and then stumbling onto ChatGPT and how it just totally fucked with me. And I realized, oh shit, here we are again. And then I talk about the great renaissance has begun. And that's a lot of the stuff we've been talking about tonight. What if we live in a world? What if AI makes possible everyone to choose what they really want to do and be able to do it at a high quality level? What's the Sam Altman quote about ChatGPT 4? ChatGPT 4 is best understood as a preview. Progress here is not linear. The shit that we're playing with right now is like a toy. And the progress we're going to see, probably in 2024, is going to be so far beyond what we can imagine right now that basically ChatGPT 4 is literally training wheels for what's coming. I had an interview today and talked about how I built a few GPTs for that specific industry already. Of course you did, Lunatick. That's fucking awesome. I feel like you've got a cross section of every industry out there, including comedy. But anyway, yeah. So this book is available on Amazon. It's only $14, and it's called AI Futures and an Anthology. So I'm really proud of that. I'm excited. And here's the thing. My book arrives on Monday. Anne Murphy. Everybody's writing books. We're all published authors now. Damn it. I love it. It's so good. One of the things I'm most excited about with this group is that one of the women in the group, Dr. Wendy Elford, she's from Australia, just really brilliant, really, really amazing. Really cool energy about her. Loves nature, gets inspired by nature, has this really interesting relationship with technology. She's got to go connect with nature and come back to technology. And as you can imagine, having a lot of smart people trying to put out a book just quickly out of nowhere with not a lot of direction. There's a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of trying to figure things out, and there's ups and downs and ins and outs and things like that. And so we finally got this thing to a point that Cindy could push the button to publish it on Amazon. And Wendy pushed really hard to say, let's keep this group going. That this should only be the beginning. What is the definition of a book anymore? Right? So what we all agreed, we've all now recorded or are in the process of recording ourselves reading our chapters. And then today, Michael Lennon was like, well, because what I talked about was reading words that are intended to be read is hard because how we talk is not how we write. And he said, well, how about this? I'll take your chapter and, I'll read it and then I'll interview you and I'll ask you to talk about it and you can just talk about it. So then we'll have like the formal reading of it and then we'll have like you talking about the same shit, but just talking and being interviewed. And then we can all do that. And then we're like, okay, we can turn those into GPTs or we can turn those into avatars that talk the book or we don't know. But this group is going to keep going and there's an interesting, I think that there's a really interesting blurring of the lines between marketing a book and creating new, whatever books become. Because I feel like a book at this point is just one of many manifestations of what all the different ways you're going to be able to interact with it. You're going to be able to act with it as a GPT for the concepts. You're going to be able to have a physical conversation with the author. You're going to be able to turn it into a video game. You're going to be able to turn it into a workshop that you can teach other people, right? You're going to be able to turn it into a 3D world. You're going to be like, it just, Lee Chazen, who's also one of the people in the book, he started writing his chapter and he was getting really uncomfortable saying, I think this and I think that and I think that. So he created 3 characters. So his chapter is 3 different characters sort of walking you through his ideas because he wanted to disassociate himself, the ego, from his points of view. And so he made these characters do it. Well, fuck it. Let's bring those characters to life. Let's turn them into a cartoon that talks about the future of AI. Like, we don't know what we're going to do yet. So how fucking cool is that? These trippy times, people. I got a little 5 o'clock shadow because I didn't shave today because my fucking water heater exploded. Plod note attaches to the back of your phone. Let's go look at that. It's funny. I was thinking about the Rabbit R1 today and how I am actively thinking about how I manage these multiple devices. And one of the ideas I had was, do I essentially attach the rabbit to the back of my phone? so what's it called? What was it called? Plod? As in applause, and then Plod note. The next gen AI voice recorder. Oh, slick. Oh, I see what they're doing. Record, transcribe, summarize. I don't know. iPhone calls, meetings, and beyond. That's kind of sneaky. I'm like, at first blush, I'm thinking like, well, the iPhone can do this. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking like the iPhone can do this. So why do you need this device? And I'm like, well, if you want to record calls without people knowing it, and you can record any call and any conference call, and it's independent of software. So I get why you do it. It's interesting. One press record. Yeah. See, there's something about this is really interesting. There's something about a single button interface where AI is going to become the new everything app. Elon Musk is talking about it with X, that X is going to become the everything app. And I would imagine that he's thinking Grok's going to be the interface for that. This thing is one button to do, all of what it does. So let's see. 30-hour recording, summarize and share voice to text, iPhone call recorder, super thin, dual pickup engine, the world's first. I doubt it. Clean, precise audio, HD audio. Slim and subtle. Slim and subtle. So when you want to record someone and they don't know it, break the laws more conveniently. Snap it on with MagSafe. Yeah, it's a slick device. They'll probably sell some of these, but I feel like it's kind of a limited audience because it seems slightly geared toward clandestine recording, which is in most states illegal. There's also, there's Leah Faston, my co-host for the Salon. She signed up for a trial for this thing called, what's it called? I don't know. It's one of those fucking note-taking things that shows up at your meeting for you. It shows up at our meetings 5 minutes before she does, and she doesn't know how to turn it off. so it's like she's got this recording device that's showing up to every fucking call she's joining against her will. It's like she doesn't know how to turn it off. She's asked for no one's permission for this, but she doesn't even want it, but it's still doing that. So like we're again 2023, the last normal year. We're gonna get into some really weird territory here with every fucking thing we do is gonna be recorded. Either we're gonna record it or someone else is gonna record it or someone's gonna have a fucking plod note. It's a shitty name, but whatever. Crazy. And a workbook to go with it. Who said they were a chicken? What are you afraid of? You know what I did today? Twice? I declared my new being to 30,000 people. What are you afraid of? Just fucking go for it. You'll care less about what people think about you when you realize how little they actually do. 38 states are one-party consent states on recording. Thank you, Lunastick. There you go. Wait, one-party consent. One-party consent. So that means 38 states, you're good to go. Just record anyone and fuck them. In 38 states. All right, there you go. Do you do consulting for startups? Setups. I assume you mean startups. I'm happy to chat. I do consulting. I haven't focused specifically on startups, although I've started 12 companies, so I know a lot about startups. You sure you want to start one? Here's the consulting. Are you sure about this? But yeah, DM me and I'm happy to chat about, what you need and if it makes sense, then we can do something. An online professional development from the book for companies. Yeah, I think that could be good. I think that could be really good. You can record anyone, anytime, but not admissible in court. Oh, interesting. You can record, but not admissible in court. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, so like think about this. All right, so here's one of these things where AI is going to change shit. How's it going to change shit? Well, right now, in 2023 land, to record something, you kind of had to, a thing would show up and then you'd hit the record button and it would do the thing and right. It was hard enough to do that not everyone did it. And so because not everyone recorded every call all the time, no one really gave a shit. Right? Some libertarians out there are people that are like, yeah, my rights are super important and screw you and your recording devices. There's like a little minority of that. But 2024, we're going to have things like the rabbit and the plod note and every single piece of video conferencing software will by default record everything. Like you'll have to turn it off for it not to do that. And so I think in 2024, way more people are going to all of a sudden get religion about, wait a minute, what do you mean I'm being recorded? Like, and then there's going to be awareness of like, well, what laws actually exist? What are the laws? how do you need to ask permission? If not, is it ethical to ask permission? Right. So there's just going to be a whole burgeoning of just awareness of just that, like that one little sliver of human communication is going to just alter dramatically in 2024. I love how the Plot hardware is just using OpenAI Whisper, like that functionality is new. Yeah. Well, but see, Abbott Skinny, here's the deal. This is when I openly admit it that I bought a Rabbit R1, people, the AI device. Good Lord. When I talked about owning a Rabbit, a lot of the technical people in here were like, "Oh, it's just macros. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's just that." And it's a really cool design, and it's got a button, and you push the button to talk to your robot. And then there's other jokes like, "Oh, it looks like a Fisher-Price toy." Yeah, it does, which that's one of the reasons I got it. It's got a cool scroll wheel and a button, and it looks like a toy. And it's fucking magic, and it's just calling a large language model. Like, technically, the components in it are nothing interesting. But the collection of them and the design and the thinking behind push the button and have a walkie-talkie conversation with the most powerful communications tool in the history of humanity is kind of fucking cool. It's kind of baller. And so, yeah, so the plotted R1 is a microphone chip. Like, yeah, you could probably build that in China right now. You could probably buy the chip for Plotted out of China right now for a nickel per thousand. Right? And then, have someone on Fiverr design you the little case and have ChatGPT write the code to use the Whisper API. Great. That's technically what it is. But if they do it right, and it's convenient enough, and it just MagSafe snaps on something, and as you're talking, you just go click to record, and it's recording all this stuff, and then when your phone call ends, you get the email, or however the hell they're doing that says, here's the notes from your call. I can see people using that. Why not? Don't underestimate form factor and simplicity and interface. ChatGPT got to 100 million users. 100 million users in 6 weeks. Fastest adoption of technology in history. ChatGPT technically was less interesting by a lot than the GPT playground. Nobody gave a shit about the GPT playground. Engineers did. People that were making AI apps did. The Jasper folks and the Copy AI folks were interested in the GPT playground. But 100 million people weren't. What were 100 million people interested in? Oh, there's a box. I can type words in the box and shit comes. Oh, it's really magical. Did you see what it does? It can write a poem. I had it write a song and it knew what verses and choruses. It can write code. Oh my God. I'm now a coder. Oh. GPT-3 could do all that. It was the stupid fucking box. It was the stupid interface. It was the removing of features, which is why it got to 100 million users in 6 weeks. I mean, plus the fact that the underlying technology is fucking amazing, right? But the underlying fucking amazing technology had been there for 2 years. 2020 is when GPT-3 came out. 2020. Late 2022 is when ChatGPT came out. So 2 years, that technology was out there. And relatively, nobody gave a shit. Nobody. Nobody cared. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I sent you a DM. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I will check that out. Not a two-party star. But hey! Can we have security with AI in place? I mean, identity theft. Wait, can we have security with AI in place? I mean, identity theft. Will there be more identity theft with AI? Oh, yeah. Can we have safety in place? Not right now, and I'll tell you why. Well, there's a bunch of reasons. The tech companies are moving too fast. The tech companies are like, well, we've got to catch up with OpenAI. So everyone, the minute they have a breakthrough, something that's stable enough to launch, they launch it. David Shapiro, who's I'm a huge fan of, just skewered OpenAI because the GPTs gave out his legal name and his email address when he didn't want it given out because they have shitty security. So right now, we should all assume that all of these tools are not secure at all, unless proven otherwise. Just assume anything you put in them is going to be out there for the public to see. And then we start to get into what's going to be a real problem in 2024. It's already starting, but it's going to be, again, 2023, the last normal year. There's going to be so many deep fakes and fake audio, fake video, real video that is claimed to be fake. Like it's going to be a madhouse of our collective inability to know the difference. And at some point, something's going to happen, I think, that will piss people off. And at that point, when they say something's got to be done, if that happens at a big enough scale where there's a market opportunity, let's go back to capitalism for a second. People got to make money.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
As soon as there's a market opportunity for people to say, we demand to be able to know that the source camp that comes in here and makes these chats, how do I know that's really her? Well, you can build, that technology exists. It's called blockchain. You can do it with NFTs and blockchain and various other tokenization technologies, right? So at some point, there's going to be a pressure to get our shit together with, I want to know that source camp, and I want to know that comment that she just put there is actually from her, and it hasn't been altered, and I want to see the little green check mark, and the green check mark says it was blockchain verified. So I think that's how we get there, but I don't think we get there overnight. I think it's going to be an absolute privacy security shit show for 2 years, 3 years, because the blockchain shit ain't going to happen overnight. You've got to get a platform adopted. Sam Altman's trying to do it. If you want to understand a cool platform, go look at WorldCoin from Sam Altman. I am a proud owner of a World ID where I went to a physical location and they scanned my retina, or both of them, I think, and they compared the digital signature of that image to all the other humans in the database, and they verified my uniqueness to the other humans in the database. And so I have an anonymous ID card that verifies that I, as the holder, am human. Why would you care? Well, imagine a version of Facebook, a version of Twitter, a version of LinkedIn, where you knew that every person on that platform was actually a person, a unique person. And then on top of that identity, you could build a whole infrastructure for chain of custody for this real person published this real article, and this real article has been published to these 3 social media sites, and the whole chain of that has been tracked on the blockchain, and I can now verify that Kyle wrote this article that shows up on Twitter, and it hasn't been altered. Green check mark. Cool. I know Kyle. Yeah, that's how he writes. Yeah, green check mark. Good. Do you see AI-generated Biden robocall story? Yeah. Again, yes. I mean, where are we? We're January. Holy shit. By June? So there's. Did you see that? There's a Matt Wolf tweet that Matt Wolf said something about the. He thought like really good video, like 30 to 60 minute video made quickly, was going to be like 2 to 3 years out. And he said, no, think more like 2 to 3 months. So let's assume that in the next 3 months, so we're at January, so go February, March, April. Let's assume that by the end of April, we'll have at least one, but probably 3 to 5 video tools that are, how did Sam Altman put it? Progress here is not linear. Not just better than what we have now, but significantly better than what we have now. Okay. Do you know how many robocalls and robo videos and Mark Zuckerberg 2 weeks ago put out an Instagram reel that I saw on Twitter, X. And Mark Zuckerberg already looks like a fucking avatar, right? He's got that weird ass fucking robot haircut and he's got the dead eye stare. And he talks like he naturally talks like a fucking avatar, right? So I see this video, and what the video says is we're fully committing Meta to pursuing AGI, which is OpenAI's, goal. So they're openly declaring we're going to war against OpenAI. And he said we've got 300,000 H100 GPUs, and then we've got the equivalent of 300,000 more. So we're pointing 600,000 H100 GPU cycles at training Llama 3, and we're going to open source it. And I looked at that video, and I was like, where does it? I went to Facebook's Twitter account. I went to like 3 different places, and I couldn't find a news item. Like, it wasn't on Facebook's Twitter account. So it was only on Instagram Reels. And I couldn't trust it because it sounded kind of fantastical, and like maybe that's someone just trying to sell. Maybe that's someone from NVIDIA trying to sell, GPU chips. Although I think their demand is pretty healthy right now. But it was really him. But like by June, it's going to be a confusing mess. And when we get to like August and September, leading up to a November election, holy shit. That's crazy. All right. Let's see. I gotta go. I gotta go, people. WorldCoin. Yeah, go to WorldCoin is, I think it's worldcoin.org. For every human. World ID. See that? Oh.
Introducing World ID 2.0. The privacy-first human passport for the internet. World ID 2.0 introduces apps, a new way to use integrations to verify your accounts online using World ID.
So that's huge. That's huge. This is huge. This is huge. I didn't even know about this. This is what I love about all this tech right now is every time I come to a site where I sort of know what it is, it's not that anymore. The fact that they're integrating with like Discord and Spotify and all these different things. So I could now. So actually, this is really interesting. And in fact, maybe this is something we play with. So we moved. Sorry, I'm not drinking enough water, so my lips are all gooey. Hang on. We moved the AI Salon community to Mighty Networks because it's just more accessible. It's web-based. It's got some more features. But I kept the AI Salon Discord alive because I thought, well, you make Mid-Journey images there, but also, what if we want to do some experiments there? What if we put together a AI Salon Discord where you had to be World ID verified to be a part of it, so that we knew cryptographically that the people that were participating on it are unique individuals. So it would guarantee there would be no bots in that thing. Like, that would be a really interesting experiment. Is it creepy? Yeah, it's creepy, but it's going to be more creepy when we live in a world where we literally can't tell. And if the World ID gets hacked, listen, we already live in a world of massive mis and disinformation. The world has already been hacked. So if World ID gets hacked, then we're back to where we started. Like that's one of those things where I'm like I feel like your comment is like, well, why try? Because fucking try, because it's going to be insane. Like this is going to be an insane year for content identity and human identity. 2023, the last normal year. And so what I'm saying is, here's a tool. You know, someone said, how do we deal with security? Well, one of the ways we're going to have to deal with security is we need to know that someone that we're dealing with is actually who they say they are, because it's going to be literally impossible to tell. We're going to have real-time systems where you could FaceTime me or I could FaceTime you. You come to these lives, you know, every night. You know what I look like. You know what I sound like. You know how I wave my hands. I could FaceTime you and say, man, it's great to see you. Know all sorts of shit about you and say, hey, you want to go in on this crypto thing I've got? And you're like, okay. Here, and I give you the wallet address and you send me your ETH. And it wasn't fucking me. Like, that kind of shit's going to be a reality, not like a possibility, like a reality in 2024. So what if the tool that's out there to prevent that gets hacked? I don't know. Then we're back to where we started. It doesn't mean don't try. Come on. Curiosity, people. Curiosity. Exploration.
You can explore all apps on the new WorldCoin App Store and build your own with the new platform.
Yeah, Cavruno. Meta has 30,000 plus sources of data on each of its users, on each of us. Exactly. And that's 30,000 types of data, right? Those data streams probably contain massive amounts of sub metadata within them. Yeah. So here's the deal. People need safe words. People absolutely need safe words. By the way, especially if you've got older parents or if you're older and love your kids, you should absolutely have some sort of thing like, you know, hey, if I ever call you and say I'm hurt and need money, you say to me, what's the password? And then what the password is
You can make money with ChatGPT!
or whatever it is. Because that's how people are getting scammed right now, and that's going to get worse and worse and worse. George Carlin warned us. He did. He absolutely did.
The second generation protocol also has new verification levels, including ORF Plus with face authentication, so only you get to use your ID for important actions. These and more upgrades are designed to make World ID 2.0
Oh, that's pretty slick. So right now the World ID 1.0 that I have is anonymous, and they basically just took the scan data, compare it, and then they threw it out. So they don't have it. So the 2.0, they can put Face ID on top of that. That's pretty slick.
the most secure, private, and inclusive proof of humanity for the internet.
By the way, the verify with the orb thing, they couldn't have picked a more creepy fucking dystopian name and form factor for how you scan your eyes, but whatever. World app and then World ID. Oh, it looks like World Coin is not live right now. That's interesting. So anyway, is this going to be the one? I don't know, but it's at least an attempt. How much does TikTok have on us? I don't know. Probably a lot. Okay, Tin Man. All of you people living in the paranoid side of the world. AI is not going to take our identities. Okay? Okay? Google and Facebook already did, and they didn't take it. We gave it to them. They know everything. It's gone. Stop trying to demonize AI for shit that is already under the bridge. How long have we had Facebook and Google? 20 years, right? How much has it cost you? Well, nothing. It's free. Right. If it's free, you're the product. So the security shit is gone. The only difference now is AI makes it easier to fuck with the data that everybody has access to. I mean, I appreciate, I dig a good conspiracy theory myself. But when I hear things like this, what it sounds to me like is, here are the 6 reasons I'm not going to use AI. You don't have to use AI. Just don't hang out in this channel because it's all I'm going to talk about is fucking use it. Well, what if it's not secure? What if it lies? What if it did? Well, yeah, it's not secure. It does lie. It's going to steal stuff. The robots may kill us. And I still think you should use it. Why? Because AI is not going away. And the longer you sit on the sidelines, the harder it's going to be to understand what the fuck is happening. 2023, the last normal year. 2024 is about to get weird. What's that mean, weird? It's just going to get weird. I don't know. These tools are going to get better fast. Sam Altman. Progress here is not linear. That's linear. Hey, how do I make a hockey stick? That's not linear, right? You go along flat for a little bit, and then you go, zoom! So it's going to be like nothing, 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 nothing. Oh my God, it's amazing. What do you mean it can do all of my job? You mean like the parts where you mean all of it? Really? Lord Digital Gods, good day to you. Thank you for the roses. The orb is already being redesigned by WorldCoin. That's a good call. Feed answer. It's like, you know, some fucking dweeb was like, let's call it the orb. And there was no adult in the room going, that's creepy as fuck. You're going to freak people out. You can't take names from movies like Blade Runner and make actual products about them that are about digital identity. Let's call it Everything's Gonna Be Okay, Dear. Not the orb. Show and tell. Oh, show and tell tonight should be rare. I don't even know what I fucking said tonight. I was all over the place. I wasn't all over the place. I was actually quite focused. Show and tell. Preview brought to you by the AI Learning Lab. That's actually a really good, I love that image. That's a nice one, Emilio's. Healing is a practice. Aw, that's super nice. Did you hear Taylor Swift's AI story? No, what's Taylor Swift's AI story? I've been talking about Taylor Swift, though, because I think that she's going to have to deal with this way sooner than later. So what is it? Tell me what I guess I could probably look up Taylor Swift AI. Taylor Swift AI. Fake explicit Taylor Swift photos have politicians sounding off. Well, of course there's going to be fake Taylor Swift photo. Did you see there's a TikTok filter now that you can make yourself look like her. This is, okay, yeah, this is just the beginning. Just hang on. 2024 is going to get weird, people. It's going to get weird. Supportiveness. Date night. Challenge time. First, a little backstory. CJ Fletcher, he's getting ready to do. By the way, if you're really into AI art, we're going to announce something at this coming Tuesday's AI Salon. CJ's going to do a very limited space workshop that if you can get in, you should get in. Oh, that's very cool. Who did that? Papa JJ. Doing some good work, the Papa JJ. Ooh, that's beautiful, Danielle. By the way, what I'm looking at here, I haven't really done this tonight because I was getting all... Good Lord, Roger Scott, that's amazing. Not quite the crackle glaze I asked for, but beautiful nonetheless. It is. That's gorgeous. I wonder if that's from Corey Sandler's thing. Oh. Have you ever tried my GPT Pottery Whisperer Pro? That's great. Oh, wow. So what you're looking at here, this is the show and tell channel of the AI Salon. So if you want to join the AI Salon, go here. And this is going to take you to a link tree that looks like this. And the first link is to the AI Salon community. And then these next two, we did a project a few weeks back called GPT for Good, where this community over a 24-hour period built 150 GPTs for nonprofits. Super inspiring event. So the second link is the link to that directory that shows all those GPTs. And then there's also videos of teaching people how to do those things. So you can go play with that. But the AI Salon community, if you go there, it'll bring you here, which is, it's a Mighty Network site. So it's just kind of like, think like Facebook and Discord had a baby, and that's kind of what it is. Show and tell, refresh. Let me refresh. I did refresh. Oh, I guess that was old. Healing is a practice. That's beautiful. So when you get here, go to the Welcome to the Salon section and read about who we are and you know, what we're doing, and the fact that we're a ragtag group of misfits, ne'er-do-wells, and miscreants. And that we're playing with AI. And check out our values: curiosity, generosity, exploration, collaboration, inclusion, and empathy. And read about what we're up to. And if that resonates with you, cool. It did not refresh. It did not. I'll go back to it in a second. And then if that sounds good, if you're like, these sound like my people, great. If we're not your people, that's cool. But just know that, you know, not every community is for everyone. I want to scale this community, but I want to scale it right. And so really, my request, go look at the values, please, before you join. And then, if you join, my request is introduce yourself. One of the values is generosity. Be generous. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Use your real name. Unlike Discord, we do want to know who people are. We want to meet them. We want to hang out with them. We want to, you know, watch them grow and blossom and do amazing shit. And then go to the show and tell section. Let me see. Yeah, something's up where I'm not getting... Everything is looking weird here in Mighty Networks. Let me... Oh, I'm not signed in. Duh. Ah! There we go. Show and tell. Very cool. We are not a cult. Salon. It's pronounced, by the way, salon is where you get your hair and nails done. This is the AI Salon. It's French, bitch. All right. Progress here is not linear. Sam Altman. Very cool. Love that. Yep. You know what we got to do? We got to get some images in here that show, exponential growth. And meanwhile, somewhere in Colorado, taping the rabbit to the back of the phone. That's really good. Ooh, beautiful. Butterfly Sherry D. That's gorgeous. AI Futures. Oh, buy the book here. Oh, that's really cool. Thank you, Brandon. That's great. Chat GPT therapy. Totally. That is well earned. Tonight is so therapeutic. That's pretty much what tonight was. For me anyway. Soaking up the knowledge. Classroom full of sponges. Very cool. And then we're back to this stuff we saw. Very, very cool. Very cool. So anyway, yeah. So come here, introduce yourself. The water cooler's where you can chat about this AI stuff. Show and tell we just looked at. AI tools and resources. You can add your favorite tool, and people are adding theirs. So you can go, just scroll through here and find tools. The Salon picks. This is a list that I personally curate. It probably needs a pass. I probably need to go find some tools, but. I start with ChatGPT and talk about all the things it can do. And like, if you have a ChatGPT Plus subscription, the $20 a month thing, and you're just using it for like tech stuff and maybe occasionally make an image, you should come look at this list and see if you know all of the things that it can do. And then learn how to do them. Start playing with it and understand what all these different things are. Because again, back to Sam Altman's thing, ChatGPT can be best understood as a preview. So get good with what it is now because it's a preview of what's coming, the kinds of things that are coming. Then I've got 8 different other large language models you can play with. I've got 6 or 7 image generation tools. These are all getting crazy good, crazy sophisticated. Each one is a whole different thing to learn. With all of these tools, I think it's important for people to play with them enough to understand, oh, I like this one for this and that one for that. You don't have to use everything, but it's good to understand what the possibilities are. Video generation, Runway ML, Pika Labs, HeyGen, DID, and Visla. There's probably a couple others I could add there. There's definitely some things I could add in music, but I've got 11 labs for voice synthesis, and then Suno, Riff Fusion, and SoundRaw for music generation, and then I got 3 things in 3D worlds and objects, and I got 4 people you should follow. So all of this is free. The AI Salon is free because, again, I think this is important. Obviously tonight it brought me to tears, but I think what we're doing here is actually a big deal, and I want to keep it going. And so, yeah. And then there's also guilds. So the guilds are sub-communities within the Salon, and you can meet, there's an education guild, a video guild. Scott from the video guild's doing a big event tomorrow. He's doing his first in-person meeting, inaugural guild meeting. So it's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mountain, so 2 p.m. Pacific.
Hi, my name is Scott Young, aka Craven Starley, your host of the AI Salon Video Guild. Welcome to the very first meeting.
So what Scott's going to do tomorrow is show a cool video and then deconstruct it in the meeting and teach everyone how to build cool videos. He does really cool videos. So yeah, so join, participate, introduce yourself, all that sort of stuff. Okay, people, listen, I'm getting out of here. Let me flip that. Let me go back to my cool picture. That's a gorgeous one. From one of the saloners. One of the irregulars made that. I think was that Danielle that made that? I forget. I've got the name in there somewhere, I think. If I go info. Oh no, I didn't put the name on it. Oh, because I saved it on my phone. Okay, so acknowledgments. Thank yous. Thank you all for putting up with my nonsense and being willing to let me. Danielle, that's yours. Yeah, that's really good. Thank you for making that. It's beautiful. Yeah, I was on the phone. I had the plumber here, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I got to save that. So I did it on the phone. So I didn't have the opportunity to rename it. I normally, when I do it on the Mac, I name it the name of the person that did it. But thank you for that. It's beautiful. Thank you for just like being cool people. Thanks to the irregulars. Thanks to my subscribers. I saw when I was talking a lot, I saw a bunch of gifts come up, and there were some fancy ones in there. So I know that's a lot, and I appreciate that a lot. So thank you for that. It means a lot. If you want to support the channel, you can either subscribe to the lives or you can buy. There's a video series in one of the corners here called Underhyped, where I talk about why I think this stuff's a bigger deal than people are. I think it's underhyped and why. And now I've got a book, so you can support by buying the book and supporting that. A human being. Thank you for pioneering our community, Kyle. Absolutely. I am honored and humbled. Oh, by the way, we're about to crack 1,000 people on the Mighty Networks community, which is wild because it's only been up for like 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that. We're about to crack 1,000. So crazy, crazy, crazy. Emilio's wife, 10-minute goodbyes. All right. So mods, thank you very much. It was a weird one tonight. I know that, but hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes it gets weird in here. But man, do I appreciate you all in fairly deep and profound ways. So Tobias, good to see you. Joy Purdy. JRC, Danielle, Winston, good to see you. Let's see, BT Comp KSU, good to see you. We're about 80 away from 1,000. Yeah, I know, crazy. Party for 1,000. No more parties. No more suggesting 24-hour anything. I got to get my beauty rest. Now I can take a shower again. Digital Building Blocks, good to see you. Who else we got in here? Prince Sunday, Mary, beautiful. Brian Whitney, it's a runaway train. It is. Digital Building Blocks. I'll have more updates on my situation next week. Awesome. Oh, thank you for the dangly lights, Winston. I love those. They're beautiful. Danielle, thank you so much. Megan, thank you for being a subscriber. I appreciate it. Let's see. Dr. J, Megan. All right, yeah, go unfollow someone who's a dweeb nut and come back and follow me. I appreciate it. I didn't know you can't follow more than 10,000. That's weird, but whatever. That's TikTok. TikTok's got their weird ass things. Nando, so underhyped, I'm confused. Ross P subscribed for the first time. Thank you, Ross P. Sherry D, good to see you. Nando, thanks. Robert Rossi, thank you as always. You're always very generous. I appreciate that beyond compare. All right, I think that's most of the people that I recognize. A human being. Tracy, good to see you. Crypto Joe, fun live tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, it's Friday night. Now you can go have your dates. And if you're on a blind date listening to me in your earbud, hopefully you've pretended to listen most of the night. Now you can listen to whatever else they have to say. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, everybody.